Why are we so captivated by before and after transformations? The satisfaction of seeing something average become something extraordinary, something broken becoming whole, a risk paying off, transcending what was for what could be. I seem to have an affinity for old European cars that aren't yet living up to their potential. It's no surprise that the paint was going to need work. 50 years, New Mexico sun, and at least a decade stored in the Midwest takes a toll. I went in with eyes open. The paint was effectively destroyed. When you look for how to take care of a car with failed paint, or patina, you pretty quickly end up looking at photos of farm trucks and hot rods. The general consensus is to scour the paint with one of a variety of household chemicals using some sort of abrasive, and then coat it with linseed oil or some other sort of product. Something about this didn't sit right with me. I wanted to not only let the damage and patina show through, but also to bring the paint back to life. Eventually, I found a forum post with a century-old process for safely revitalizing oxidized single-stage paint. It centered around the idea of repeatedly feeding the paint with Meguiar 7, letting it soak in overnight, and buffing it off, all by hand. This felt right. All the better, I just so happened to have a bottle of this magic number 7 Show Car Glaze, along with everything else I should need. So with that, a plan emerged. I followed the steps, and after 2 long but manageable days, I'll have some nicely restored paint. How hard can it be? There's quite a bit of paint missing from the car that has flaked off, presumably from baking in the harsh sun for decades. As expected, the horizontal surfaces are all in the worst condition. The roof is in very rough shape. No paint remains on the sunroof panel, but it's hard to tell what might be salvageable elsewhere. The hood and trunk also have some sizable areas where the paint is flaked off, along with some localized staining where the paint is discolored. Everywhere else on the car has a general haze to the paint, and if you look up close, you can see that the entire surface of the paint is thoroughly cracked, like a dried up lake bed. By all accounts, this paint is dead. This is so bad. But I'm curious enough to subject myself to trying to make something out of it, so here we go. I'll start with the worst damage, the roof. No matter what, I know I need to do some chemical cleaning here to remove the surface rust. I'll try CLR first, and then Comet afterward. Both produced pretty similar results and are beginning to remove some staining. You can see how the formerly white stain has now turned to light green. Both are a bit slow to get results though, so I grabbed the SOS pads and water. The SOS pad is a little bit easier to work with, so I'll use that instead of the CLR or Comet. I'm very cautious about being too aggressive to the point of irreversibly damaging the paint, so I'm being gentle and only scrubbing where I need to. I don't want to go too far and regret it, so I'll stop here and turn to the star of the show, the mythical Meguiar's number 7 Show Car Glaze. Apparently this isn't just a glaze, but a century-old recipe that is ideally suited for rejuvenating single-stage paint through a time-tested process passed down by oral tradition. Its formula works to feed the old paint, protecting it and allegedly bringing back shine after several rounds of feeding, letting it sit overnight, and aggressively buffing it by hand. I hope this works. It's a lot of work. It's very tempting to just pull out the buffer and go at it, but the old recipe says, gotta do it by hand. Oh, this is hard work. Honestly, I don't know if this is really working or not. In the spots that are really dried out and cracked, it is really not wanting to come off too much. At this point, I think I'm of the mind that I should wash the rest of the car, get the surface rust off, and then load up all of the number 7 that I have and just go as far as we can. So that's what I did. I spent the rest of the day washing the paint, cleaning surface rust, and working number 7 in. I just used up that whole bottle of number 7. Pretty sure it's worth it. Pretty sure. Maybe. By morning, most of the number 7 had completely soaked in, leaving little to buff. I picked up another bottle, reapplied, and moved on. While it dried, I tried using compound on the few areas that were less damaged. Throughout the day, I continued applying more number 7 as it disappeared, eventually trying the polisher with compound following numerous coats of glaze worked in. I don't know why I'm doing this anymore. At best, progress was glacial. If it was happening, I couldn't see it. I felt stuck, caught in an endless loop of applying glaze and compound. I kept looking for that moment where things click, magically producing a promising result. But it wasn't coming. I've been fighting this paint for 3 days now and really have not gotten very far. I was getting pretty close to just giving up and throwing some wax on it and then calling it good and moving on. But then around 8 o'clock last night, I had a breakthrough. I tried taking a clay bar to the hood and I noticed that no matter how many times I clay barred it, more and more material just kept coming up. So that gave me the idea that maybe the paint was not anywhere near clean enough and I needed to mechanically remove more from the surface before I could polish. So I decided I was just gonna go at it as hard as I could and scrub as hard as I possibly could on that paint and see if that would make any difference. It did. There was a ton more paint becoming visible underneath that rust and oxidation. Once I had gotten that up, I was able to take the polisher, the DA. Pretty quickly, I started seeing some shine come back to it that I had not been able to get anywhere near before in any of the steps that I was taking. I was leaning too much into the auto geek restoration side of things and needed to find my inner farm truck. As I scrubbed more aggressively, magically more and more green appeared. Even the light-colored areas where I thought the paint was gone returned to an even hue. And soon, at least the color was looking great. So now I feel like I know what the process is to get the result that I want, There's gonna be a lot of work to do here, but at least I know that I'm heading in a direction that leads somewhere. Following the success of that approach, I turned to the hood. The SOS pad removed the staining, leaving an even paint color, but the DA and compound struggled to produce the same gloss that it achieved on the roof. Yesterday was a pretty big day in terms of progress. But as I got through everything, I started noticing that while I was making progress, there were still lots of areas that it wasn't shining up evenly everywhere. That's telling me I think I need to do a little bit more to try to cut into this paint. What I want to try now is using the mini DA I have, and I'm going to very specifically target the areas where I see a lot more unevenness in the paint. If I want to get anywhere near to the result that I expect out of it, I'm going to need to cut into some areas a lot more. Well, it's definitely not too aggressive. It's really pretty hard to tell. Ooh. Well, that sucks. Stepping it up again. Now I'm just going after this thing with wet sandpaper. Right now I'm using 1500 grit. It's just an ongoing arms race of continually escalating into more and more aggressive things to really get this paint flattened out so that I can get a nice, even, smooth finish on it. How do you do this on a big car? This is like the smallest car and it's still a massive pain. Oh, I'm losing my mind. Day 6. I've got to get to an ending on this. This can't keep going on forever. For how much time I've spent on this, at this point, I can't even remember what it looked like before. Each step trying to polish this paint is really fighting me a lot. I'm gonna do the best I can to cut the surfaces that I've wet sanded. And then once I get to that point, I'm gonna put on some glaze and then I'm just gonna call this good. See, this is where I haven't touched since wet sanding. So this is pretty clean. I'm pretty happy with that. If I can get that everywhere, that's great. At this point, days ran together into an endless void of polishing, wiping, and cleaning pads. Day 6 became 7, and I pushed through trying to finish polishing each wet sanded panel. The hood refused to polish up as nicely as the rest of the car did, so I applied several more coats of number 7, hoping it would work its magic. With each coat, it seemed to get slightly more even. While the last coat of number 7 dried, I moved on to the sides of the car. Mercifully, the vertical surfaces are not as sun-baked as the horizontal ones, and they cleaned up well enough to match the rest of the car with less resistance until I could finally declare a stopping point. After 7 days of experimenting and slowly making progress to bring the paint back, I've completely lost my anchor on what the before even looked like. It's hard to declare a finish line for something that has no realistic potential to become finished. I'm just looking for the ambiguous feeling of good enough. Did I actually make it better, or just flush 7 days down the drain? Oh, right. The before.
Stay away from that old Viper man. Don't you take that fruit he's holding in his hand. Just one bite.
I guess it's subjective, but to my eyes, this is a huge improvement. I wanted an honest finish that maintains and honors the actual condition of the car, but also presents as something cherished, not neglected and forgotten. I'm not sure if this is how it'll stay, aside from some wax, but it's already giving me a huge boost of motivation. In the 12 hours since completing this, I've already ordered wheels, tires, and something else special that I cannot wait to mount up. Spring is on the way. If you want to support the channel, check out some of my designs available in the store, each inspired by a love of project cars and minimal modernist design. Thanks for watching. See you next time.